having me and interviewing me and, showing the world that, girls play video games as well.
No problem. And I'm looking forward to seeing your...
Coming right up, the Trailblazers taking on the Rockets. For the Portland Trailblazers, they've won just 4 games out of their last 10, and they know they can do better. This team has talent, and they'll try to bring it together and get things back on track with a win. Rockets, Blazers, coming up next. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. With Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll be hearing from David Aldridge on the sideline. It's getting late in the season. Let's see how the standings are out west. Taking a look at Houston. They've done well enough to be in 5th place in the conference so far. And, of course, the Trailblazers down 4 spots from them.
And for the Trailblazers, they've had an interesting season for sure. They're competitive, they're feisty, but they're not a team that's going to dominate for long stretches.
I just think if you're on the other side, Greg, how much are you looking at that team and saying, we're scared of them? So not a lot of fear from the opposition and what they're bringing to the table. They're good, they compete, but do they have that extra gear? I'm not sure.
A look at the opening lineup for the Houston Rockets. Westbrook and Harden, the dynamite pair. They're the backcourt. P.J. Tucker is out there with Robert Covington, and it's House in at the 3. And for Portland, Collins plays the 4 with Nurkic at the 5. Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. And it's Anthony in at the 3 slot. And that one's good, Westbrook. Brent, talk about the length of the season. Commissioner Silver is also considering proposals to shrink the season. What do you think?
I think it'd be interesting, and I'm not sure financially how the league goes back from an 82-game season and ticket sales and revenue and television and how they kind of unwind what it is they've agreed to. But 70 games to me in terms of the competition, Kevin, in terms of the elevated play of the star players on a nightly basis, the fact that you probably get stars to appear in every game and not be sat out for load management and things like that, I think overall it'd be pretty healthy.
Rebound by Nurkic. Portland's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
I was able to talk with Terry Stotts for a minute. His focus, trying to slow down the freight train that is Russell Westbrook. Coach said his competitive will is second to none. We've got to match his intensity if we're going to come out on top. That is a tall task, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Here's Anthony following the score by Houston. Here's McCollum. That's in there. Anthony with the assist.
He gives CJ that kind of shot, and he's going to knock it down. He'll exploit the defense all night long.
Westbrook surveying the D. Trains it from beyond the arc. Westbrook's got 5 now.
Yeah, this is a solid opening quarter right here. Very active and creating a lot of good opportunities for himself.
Deep 2 from Anthony. That shot misses. The Rockets go the other way with it. Last time against the Trailblazers, they lost in Portland.
Yeah, and their last time playing against this club, they fell short. A lot of cheap fouls really plagued their starting unit.
But I'm sure they learned their lesson from that game. They know they can't afford to have their first unit unavailable when the game is at critical junctures this time around.
And you know what? He doesn't mind getting his hands dirty when it comes to really fighting on the backboard.
Not only fighting on the boards, he's converting, and not just on the putback. It's been a great start for him. Not a bad shot from the mid-range. The D's giving it to him, and he's usually got an eye in that kind of range.
And last season, a rare 5-by-5 game achieved by Yusuf Nurkic. 24 points, 23 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 steals, Greg, and 5 blocks in a game against the Kings.
And how about the only player ever to log a 20, 25, and 5 game, the Bosnian Beast, making a name for himself.
And Portland has possession following the score by Houston. Here's Lillard. Here's Nurkic. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Such a big body down there. Nurkic battling.
Houston's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. It's Westbrook with the drive, and it's sent back by Lillard.
Maybe a time to rest him right now, just give him a bit of a breather, try to help him get back on track.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will retain possession. Why don't we go to the 2K leaderboard? Over the past month, these teams have been playing a very entertaining brand of basketball. Fifth best, the Trailblazers.
I mean, it's about the pace they've played with here offensively. They don't look like they're showing any signs of slowing down.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland.
And the 4-year, $196 million Supermax extension signed by Damian Lillard this offseason. Dame Dollar living up to one of his many nicknames, but money well spent by the Blazers.
So Portland ends up going with the new group. 1:31 left to play in the first quarter. So they take the lead.
I do so enjoy watching a bounce pass executed that perfectly.
Pass to Rivers. The pass to Carroll. He kicks it to McLemore. Pass to Clemens. Launches it. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers. They come into this one following the loss to the Grizzlies. A nice shot by Simons.
When he's hitting that shot, this offense becomes scary, even more difficult to defend.
Yeah, no question. When he is connecting from those kind of spots on the floor, it is just a huge boost for what they can do offensively.
And so it's Houston with it. Trailblazers knocking down the tray. Carroll. No good on the shot. A bit long that time. Simons, the pass to Hezonja, and finish off by Hezonja.
And this is right around the time when one team might start to pull away.
Yeah, this team is looking to add to the lead, trying to put the other team away, and threatening here.
Now here's McLemore. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. 6 to shoot. Can they get it? And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
The Rockets shooting their first free throws tonight. The first trip to the stripe in this one. 2 shots. And the first one drops. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Here's Simons. Taking a look at the scoring numbers, right now he averages about 9 points a game. To the inside, here's Whiteside. Great D that time from Green. And so the first quarter is in the books. Portland out in front as they wrap up the first quarter on a 12-4 run. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. Russell Westbrook has surly disposition on the court, but he talks about the power of...
Throughout the years, I've been trying to find ways to be a better leader.
Well, you can't win it alone.
And for superstar players like Westbrook, individual greatness isn't enough. It's about elevating the team around them.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And from Portland, guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Well, pounding the boards is one way to gain an advantage. They simply owned the glass in that first.
Well, if you get physical out there, you can control the glass, and that helps you to control the pace of the game.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the floor for Portland, Hezonja at the 4 and Whiteside at the 5. Then it's Little, and it's Simons in at the 1. So it's the Rockets now. Hassan Whiteside made his last basket. Pass to Clemens. 6 on the shot clock. Green fires from way outside. The rebound by Hazanya.
And they continue to control the glass.
You talk about role players with attitude and confidence. Brent, you're talking about Hazanya.
Still so many people intrigued about Hazanya and his ability to play in the NBA. Seems like the situations that he's been in have not been ideal. So an opportunity here in Portland to show how he can fit into a system and how he can consistently perform.
Here's Rivers. Hassan Whiteside made his last basket. Pass to Green. Over Whiteside, and it'll go.
Timeout.
And the Blazer lead is cut down now to just 7 on the bucket from Green. Now a timeout called by Portland. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
So it's both teams making substitutions here.
All right, a chance to check out numbers for C.J. McCollum. Tremendous numbers for him over the last 10 games. He's getting around 28 points per, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. They're loving how he's running the show here. His sensational passing really breathing life into their offense.
Something in the coach's playbook here where the schemes fire on all cylinders. When he is in the game, a great conduit for them offensively. He knows where everyone is at all times.
Kicks it to Carmelo.
You go back to 2015, the Blazers lost 4 of their 5 starters in the offseason. So instead of rebuilding, they retooled around Damian Lillard, and what a piece to retool behind. Amazing how far they've come in the past couple seasons where they've placed in the Western Conference.
Shooting 2.
That's good from Anthony.
Just get a feeling like Melo has brought some extra energy to this one. This guy eats, drinks, and breathes basketball, but he's at it here tonight.
And both free throws good for Anthony. Rockets trail by 9. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Westbrook kicks to Harden. He's off on that one.
Oh, can't punish the defense for leaving him open that time. That's a frustrating miss for a really steady jump shooter.
And there's the feed to McCollum. That one falls, his second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
They are just killing them on the interior.
And stolen by Lillard. And oh, here we go. Lillard's got it, the fast break chance. And then Lillard slams it in.
Always an appreciation for Lillard and his build, just how rugged he is, along with that fearlessness.
And here's Westbrook from the arc, sinks the triple. Westbrook's got 8.
Now, what a great option he gives them on every possession.
Well, you knew after the Paul George trade that the Thunder would look to sell on Westbrook as well. Just part of the rebuild at this point. His agent did well to get him to a team looking to compete. A great fit for a player in this stage of Russ's career.
And it's Harden with the ball for the Rockets. It's a 13-point game. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing the last matchup with the Lakers.
And I just love how aggressive Harden is inside. When he's deep like that, he is ready to finish with authority.
Lillard, the pass to McCollum. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. And the rejection by Harden. over Anthony. Goes back up. And the layup good by Covington. Covington's got it back down to single digits for Houston.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
Three-pointer, Lillard. And again, it's the Trailblazers from deep.
Yeah, and they're starting to warm up from the field this quarter.
Here is Harden. He's coming off a 37-point game against the Lakers in Los Angeles.
They're having more success from three-point range here in the second after a rough first quarter from deep.
Now, here's Lillard. Three-pointer. And it's James Harden with the rebound.
If you told me this was the kind of game he was going to have, I would not have expected them to be in front right now.
And Tucker kicks to Westbrook. Outside, House. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. House has got his second basket of the night.
And their shots are falling now with more regularity than we saw at first.
McCollum dishes to Lillard. And here's Anthony from the arc. They grab their own miss. Collins, good.
Collins with a good read there and laser focused on where he could get to collect the offensive board.
Now, here is Harden. 7 points in the game. Just 3 on the clock. That one misses. And so it's the Portland Trailblazers in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. They're shooting the ball so well in this one. A great performance from the field. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Carmelo, what was the area of emphasis for your team during the first half?
Well, we're doing it on both ends of the court. We're bumping down on the defensive end. We're sharing the ball offensively, making good plays, you know, cherishing every possession counts, and we're doing that the first half.
I know you want to keep it going in the second half. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Program. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. The first quarter for the Trailblazers was fairly even. At the end of one, they were able to end up with a 5-point lead. Taking a look at the Trailblazers, Shaq, how do you think Portland played?
You know what, Ernie, I got to stand up on this one. I salute to their bench. Man, once the starters came out, man, the others just came to life. You got to love seeing that kind of contribution come from the others. Man, they look beautiful tonight.
How about you, Kenny? What did you think about Houston?
Well, one problem I see is that they're too timid on the board. When you start to fall behind in the game, you need to become more.
And that's going to do it for us here.
And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. Brent, offensive versatility, all the rage now. Which guards do you think do the best job of generating offense with their back to the basket?
I don't know so much as these guys are playing with their back to the basket, Kevin, so much as they're finding ways to get the ball without a dribble at about 15 feet away from the basket. So one dribble, they're at the rim.
Right.
They're very effective at the mid-range. Chris Paul and DeMar DeRozan have had tremendous efficiency from those areas on the floor. So those are the kind of players that